I'm Frank, and if you've ever read any fanboy post on any message board anywhere, you understand why we call this segment But Let's Face It. DC and Marvel Comics both have great characters. Both have iconic characters, worthy of big budgets for live-action studio films. And movies based on them have been made. But let's face it, the Marvel Cinematic Universe has been kicking the crap out of DC like a Galactus versus Alfred crossover. This isn't really news, but it's still head-scratching and worth discussing since it's been going on for so long. And I do realize this stuff is the easiest thing in the world to Monday morning fanboy quarterback. Let me assure you, Warner Brothers and DC want to make movies that are well-liked and blockbusters. It gives them no joy to see Marvel release a movie based on a lesser character created only in the 1990s and watch it outgross their film, which combines three of the most recognizable characters on the planet. But comparing Deadpool with Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice is a good place to start. The DC movies often take themselves so damn seriously. Zack Snyder seems hell-bent on creating a kind of emo-verse, while Marvel has always been completely unashamed in going for laughs. In the airport fight in Captain America: Civil War, you've got Iron Man, Spider-Man, and Ant-Man all making wisecracks. They're all great, and it's never too much. And even the three of them together can't touch the jokes in Deadpool, a film which went so far as to call the writers of the movie the real heroes here. It's tough to argue with that, especially when Deadpool's unexpected success made Warner Brothers second guess and then revamp Suicide Squad with rewrites that threw in a bunch of humor at the 11th hour. The result was forced, weak jokes and tonal schizophrenia, and that was just the beginning of the problems with that movie. Sometimes I feel like Warner Brothers just doesn't get the characters. Being Superman is a lot of work, but it's awesome. It's at least some fun some of the time. Is there any shot in Man of Steel where Henry Cavill doesn't have a pained look on his face? His brow is literally furrowed throughout the entire film due to the burden of having superpowers and being indestructible. I don't want to live in a universe where Kal-El's favorite band is the Smiths. And this isn't to say that you can't change anything from the source material. No one missed the psychic squid in Watchmen. Setting Wonder Woman in World War I? Fine. And no one even remembers that Nick Fury was originally white. But in Batman v Superman, Batman should still be a detective, and a great one. That's essential. He shouldn't misunderstand Superman. In Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns, on which the idea of this fight is based, the two characters completely get one another. There is a genuine difference in philosophy, which builds to an inevitable, painful Götterdämmerung. In Dawn of Justice, Zack Snyder turns the whole thing into a bad episode of Three's Company. And whatever the limit is on the maximum number of times you can retell the story of Joe Chill killing Bruce Wayne's parents, the DC Cinematic Universe passed that a long time ago. So Warner Brothers, as you're going through drafts now, please take it out of the Aquaman and Cyborg solo film scripts, because I know you want to put it in there again for no reason. DC has now said they are going to pull back on the interconnectedness of their cinematic universe. You know, the thing that made the Marvel movies really stand out. This knee-jerk backpedaling is just stupid. This isn't the issue, so don't scapegoat crossovers. I don't know if you know this, but there was a scene cut from the original Man of Steel movie. During the closing credits, Clark Kent was working late at the Daily Planet when all of a sudden he's confronted by Nick Fury, who says that he'd like to talk to him about the Incoherent Shitstorm Initiative. I'm sure DC and Warner Brothers have tried to rationalize their many failures. When they look back at Green Lantern tanking at the box office, I'm sure they say, well, I guess Ryan Reynolds just doesn't have what it takes to carry a superhero movie. Oh, wait. A lot of what I'm saying isn't black and white. I am overstating and oversimplifying. Wonder Woman was fun, even if a bit overpraised. Marvel movies have had some complete misfires and, in general, have weak third acts. Maybe DC can turn things around. In show business, it's never too late. But the important thing is to realize that even though live-action movies are the highest profile form of media there is, Both Marvel and DC have told tons of amazing, incredible stories with these characters in all forms of media. The live-action Avengers movies are great, but none are nearly as good as the first Ultimate Avengers animated movie. Batman may be stinking it up on the big screen, but his animated series could be the best take on the character. And although completely different in tone, the Batman Brave and the Bold cartoon was pretty incredible as well. But all these properties came from comic books. And let's face it, if any movie lets you down, there are thousands and thousands of comic books available to remind you exactly why all these characters are so wonderful to begin with.